I grew up in the Appalachian foothills, where my grandmother had a story for everything. Don't go near the old well after dark, or raw head and bloody bones will get you. Raw head and bloody bones, a creature that lived in dark places, wells, root cellars, abandoned houses, covered in blood, with exposed bone showing through rotting flesh. He collected children who disobeyed. It terrified me as a kid, but by the time I was a teenager, I'd figured it out. Just a cautionary tale. Keep kids away from dangerous places. I even wrote a paper about it in college. Got an C. I thought I was so smart. But then I started actually researching the origins. Raw head appears in folklore as far back as the 16th century. But the Appalachian version is different, more specific, more insistent. In the old stories, Raw head was once a man who did something terrible, something the stories only hint at. As punishment, he was cursed to exist in the spaces between civilization and wilderness, forever hungry, forever waiting. I found historical accounts from the 1800s, children disappearing near wells, abandoned structures. The communities would say Rawhead took them. Then they'd fill in the well, board up the building, move on. I thought, tragic accidents explained through folklore, still just stories, until last year. I went back home, helping clear out my grandmother's house after she passed. There was an old well on the property, covered with rotting boards for decades. I decided to look inside. I don't know why, curiosity or something else. I pulled back the boards, and the smell that came up, it wasn't just decay. It was wrong, old and wrong. And in the darkness below, I heard something move, not an animal, something that sounded wet and deliberate. Something that sounded wet and deliberate. I covered that well back up faster than I've ever moved in my life. That night, I kept thinking about all those old warnings. All those filled-in wells and boarded-up buildings. What if they weren't just eliminating hazards? What if they were containment? We think folklore is primitive people explaining what they didn't understand. But what if it's the opposite? What if it's people who understood something we've forgotten, trying desperately to warn us? And we're not listening. We're rationalizing these stories away, dismissing them as superstition. I sold my grandmother's property to a developer. They're building condos there. They'll probably remove that old well. I thought about warning them, but what would I say? That a folktale might be real, that something might be down there waiting? They'd laugh, just like I did. Once. So if you're ever in the Appalachian foothills and you see an old well or a building that's been boarded up for generations, maybe just walk away. Don't be curious. Don't investigate, because some stories survive for a reason, and Raw head and bloody bones is still hungry.